Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. My name is Mochammad Faizal Rahmana. You can call me Faizal. I am here today to provide tips and tricks on how to easily answer the TOEFL test. My presentation lasts about 10 minutes. As you can see here, next slide. Strategies for the structure question in TOEFL test. Number 1. First, study the sentence. Your purpose is to determine what is needed to complete the sentence correctly. Number 2, then study each answer based on how well it completes the sentence. Eliminate answer that do not complete the sentence correctly. Number 3, do not try to eliminate incorrect answer by looking at the answer. The incorrect answers are generally correct by themselves. The incorrect answers are generally incorrect only when used to complete the sentence. Number 4, never leave any answer blank. Be sure to answer each question if you are unsure of the correct response. Number 5, do not spend too much time on the structure question. Be sure to leave adequate time for the written expression question. As you can see here, next slide. This talk is divided into 4 main parts. Firstly, I do like to look at skill 7, noun clause connector. Secondly, I will be talking about skill 8, noun clause connector and subject. Thirdly, skill 9, adjective, clause, and connector. My fourth point will be about skill 10, adjective, clause, connector, and subject. Finally, I will see the following example question. Let me now move on to skill 7. Let me give you an example. As you can see here, next slide. Skill 7, blah, 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 was late. I missed the appointment. The choice is A, I, B, because, C, the train, D, sign he. The answer is D, because in the example problem above, there is a verb in the form of which requires a subject. In addition, there is also a clause in the form of miss the appointment. Answer A and C are not correct because and I the train will only be subject for the verbs but cannot be used as connector to join the two clauses. In addition to requiring a subject, the question also requires a connector to join the two clauses. Answer B is also incorrect because there is no subject for the verbs. The most correct answer is D, sign he, because there is subject, he to verbs are also assigned connector to join the two clauses. Let me now move on skill 8. Let me give you an example. As you can see here, next slide. Skill 8. The company was prepared for blah, 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 happiness with the economy. The choice is A, it, B, the problem, C, what, D, when. The answer is C, what, because the sentence above has two clauses, namely the company is prepared for and the happens with the economy. The second clause, happiness with the economy, is incomplete because it does not have a subject, as well as a connector connecting the two sentences. The correct answer is C, because it can work as both subject and connector. Let me now move on to skill 9. Let me give you an example. As you can see here, next slide. Skill 9, blah, 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 was late cause many problems. The choice is A, that he, B, the driver, C, there, B, because. The answer is A, that he. Because The example problem above, there are two verbs and clause, each of which requires a subject. Answer B is correct because the driver is one subject, while in the example question above it requires the two subjects. Answer C and D are also incorrect because their and could not be the subject. The most correct answer is A. So the sentence becomes that he was late causing a lot of trouble. He is the subject of the verb was, and the noun clause that he was delayed becomes the subject of the verb clause. Let me now move on skill 10. Let me give you an example. As you can see here, next slide. Skill 10. The gift blah 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 selected for the bride was rather expensive. The choice is A because, B was, C sign, D which he. The answer is D, which he, because in the example problem above, there is two clauses. Give is the subject of the verb was, and the verb selector requires a subject and adjective clause connector is also needed because of the sentence requires the two clauses. Answer A and C are not correct because they only have a connector but do not have a subject. Answer B, change selected to passive verb. And the sentence will only have one subject and two verbs. So answer B is also not correct. The best answer for the example question above is D. So the sentence becomes the gift which is selected for the bride was rather expensive. In this sentence, give is the subject of the verb was. We as the subject of the verb selected and the adjective connector which function to combine the two clauses. That's the explanation that I can convey to all of you for from skill 7 to skill 10. Learning TOEFL is very easy if you focus and study hard and working hard. Thank you very much for your attention, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your listening. My all choice we have shared be beneficial for all of us. Thank you so much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.